ACAS Aptitude test measures the aptitude of the individual and his or her work-related cognitive capacity. This particular test evaluates an individual's ability to learn from experiences and to apply this particular experiences in his or her work-related situations. So, this ACAS Aptitude tests are all speed tests, and the scores of these ACAS Aptitude tests are calculated simply by counting the number of right responses against the time allotted. And this ACAS Aptitude test yields three kinds of responses, namely low, average and high. And the ACAS Aptitude test report is very comprehensive and it yields the strengths, weaknesses and also gives recommendations for every individual based on their performances in the aptitude test. I am going to talk about the verbal ability. This particular verbal aptitude test measures the individual's ability in areas such as synonyms, antonyms, relationship between words, vocabulary in context, spelling as well as syntax. It assesses the ability of the individual to work in an environment where English language is a prerequisite. And whoever is scoring very good in this particular aptitude test has got good skills at comprehending and communicating using English language on an everyday basis. And this particular verbal aptitude test has got both short versions and the parallel forms. I am going to talk about the ACAS numeric aptitude test. This particular numeric aptitude test has got 40 items and it is again a speed test. This test assesses the basic computational abilities such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, division as well as fractions. It assesses the ability of the individual to work in environment where basic numeracy is very important. Individuals getting high scores in numerical aptitude test can be considered for positions where numerical operations, where high skill in manipulating numbers and performing well in technical and accounting operations are involved. Again, in this ACAS numeric aptitude test, we have short versions as well as parallel forms available. I am going to talk about the abstract reasoning test. Abstract reasoning test given by ACAS aptitude test measures the fluid intelligence of the individual. The fluid intelligence of the individual measures the individual's ability to think abstractly and reason logically. It is a non-verbal test and it's very unique in its design because it's using the set of diagrams with some logical rules in it instead of any kind of text in that. This particular test is best for predicting how fast an individual can learn from his work environment and how he can grasp new ideas and also learn through complex problems on the job. The short versions and parallel forms for this particular test is also available. The perceptual speed and accuracy test given by ACAS aptitude test uses a classic approach to measure the individual's reading ability, to compare sets of information and to make simple decisions. This test can be used with good results where a lot of paperwork is required and where the processing speed and minimizing errors both are important. All the ACAS aptitude tests underwent vigorous scientific procedures. I am going to discuss about the development and validation of the ACAS aptitude tests. The first step is a conceptualization of the aptitude test. The construct the test intended to measure was carefully specified and the items were generated from various sources involving the consultation with experts, various review of literature as well as the talk with the intended proposed respondents. The generations of the items during the questionnaire development was carefully chosen in order to assure their content and face validity. The multiple choice options were also carefully chosen. After generation of the items, content validity procedures were followed to ensure the content validity of the questionnaire. All the aptitude tests were given to 5 experts in the field of psychology and human resources with relevant experience, knowledge as well as qualifications. They judged the items based on the 3 aspects, namely relevance, clarity as well as comprehensiveness. And after all the content validation procedures, those items with CVR value of greater than 0.75 alone were retained. After generation of the items, the refined items were actually pilot tested using item analysis in order to test the item discrimination as well as the item difficulty. The participants were asked to respond to the items using the 4 multiple choice options. The items which were extremely easy as well as extremely difficult, that is a high and low endorsement of the items, were deleted, and moreover those items which were not actually responded by majority of the participants were also deleted. Those items with the discriminatory power of greater than 0.30 alone were retained. After final item selection of the ACAS aptitude test, the reliability and validity of the tests were established. The reliability of the ACAS aptitude tests were established using the parallel forms, using the test retest reliability method, and all the tests were having greater than 0.70 as the reliability coefficient. Hence, the reliability of all the ACAS aptitude tests were established. Apart from establishing the face and content validity of the ACAS aptitude test, the criterion validity of the test was also established. This was done by comparing the results of the ACAS aptitude test with already established cognitive assessments. The results were found to be significantly related, signifying the concurrent validity of the ACAS aptitude test. Thus, the ACAS aptitude test was scientifically validated using all these steps and was found to be reliable as well as valid. ACAS aptitude test is a well standardized and scientific tool used for measuring the aptitude of the individual, which is very important for their work performance.